everyone. We want to welcome you today to the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I am your host, Latasha J Humphrey, founder of the Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated. I believe this podcast will be awesome today. But before we get started, I want to let our audience know that this podcast is being brought to you by the Flora Pearl Foundation, where our vision is bridging the gap, building a legacy. Our mission is that we are a 501c3 community-focused nonprofit mentoring organization, building healthy relationships and partnerships between women and girls through education, community service, networking, unification, and career planning. Flora Pearl Humphrey is our inspiration. She was my paternal grandmother, and although she passed away in 2001 of a massive heart attack, what she taught me was about faith, family, and community. And that has stuck with me through the years. And so my heart as a giver, that's definitely where that inspiration comes from. Now, audience, I have the pleasure of introducing one of my sister friends who is a beautiful soul. I met her back in 2012. She is the 2004 recipient of the Mover and Shaker Award that was presented to her at the Flora Pearl Foundation's Matters of the Heart event. I learned a lot about preserving relationships from her, and she gave me the opportunity to serve as a vision partner of her nonprofit. So I introduce to you none other than the NaTasha C. Rembert. Hi, NaTasha.
Hello, how are you?
I am excellent. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Awesome. Well, we're so honored to have you with us today. And if you would, just go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Good evening, everyone. I am NaTasha Rembert, founder and the executive director of Dream Girls Christian Academy. Dream Girls Academy is a mentoring group mentoring for girls ages 5 to 18 here in Birmingham, Alabama. We've been in existence since August the 10th of 2007. And so this year we're approaching 10 years of mentoring. So we meet every first Saturday, every third Sunday at Fortis Institute off of Lakeshore, and we're mentoring about 45 girls right now in an elementary group, middle school group, as well as high school group. So we have them all divided up, partnering with various organizations around the city of Birmingham. But we're looking to make a difference in the lives of those girls educationally, socially, entrepreneurship, as well as career guidance and college development.
Perfect. So you're embracing that 10-year. And NaTasha, if you could just take us back to and tell us more about your baby Dream Girls Academy. Just, take us back to before you got started. What made this be the vision that you knew you had to pursue?
Well, actually, back in 2007, it was actually in 2006 when I was working with my stepfather at Disciples Christian Center in North Birmingham, working in the ministry there and trying to draw the youth into the church. There was a small church, store side in North Birmingham, and we were trying to go out into the community and draw young people in. What I found, there was a lot of young people in the community, but they did not want to have a part of the church. So what I did was I decided to have like roundtable discussions and invite girls in, because there were so many girls in that area that was just dropping out of school, into drugs, into so many things that was in the streets, but they didn't have focus, they didn't have direction, and I really wanted to reach them. The burning desire, it came from that point, and so I wanted to see them do better. So I started the nonprofit under Disciples Christian Center, and as an outreach program. Every Saturday we would open up the doors and feed the youth hot dogs and drinks, or draw them in with the food. We used the food as the bait to get them in there, and then we had topics, and we talked about things that kind of kept them in their situation or hindered them, or barriers that was hindering them from being successful or stepping outside of the area that they were in. So that started back in 2006, and in 2007, God spoke to me at a Paula White conference in Tampa, Florida, and had someone actually to prophesy to me that I would reach many girls by the thousands, and I will be a teacher and a leader. And till today, those things have manifested and taken place, and I'm excited about it. I was excited about it then, I think, but as we approach the 10-year mark, I'm even more excited about it today.
Wow, wow. And I know, you and I, we've talked so much about, the commitment. And just like you were saying, that vision, you got that vision and from God to go ahead and do it. And, it's taken, I know, hard work throughout the years for you. And I wanted to have you to share some of those helpful do's and don'ts to other people who are just rushing to start nonprofits specifically for girls. If you could share some of those do's and don'ts to help them out.
One of the things that I would want to say to someone who's starting a nonprofit organization for girls, especially mentoring girls, there are so many girls that are out there. And what I would do is identify which girls do you want to help. Because when I started the organization, I wanted to help any girl, all girl. If it was a girl, then that was my target. But what I realized is that there are so many different areas that you can reach girls. You can talk to girls that's in transition homes. You can talk to girls that are in DHR custody. You can talk to girls that are raised by single parents or grandparents, or girls whose mothers were murdered or fathers incarcerated. There are so many different areas. So I would actually figure out, where do I want to target, because you want to be effective in the area that God has sent you or you feel that you're passionate about. So I would identify an area, and I know getting started, you're excited about it because you see so many things, but I think paying attention to the detail, what you want to do, how you're going to do it, who you're going to partner with, how you're going to get it done is very, very important. So it's a lot of work out there, and I always tell people, no matter what you're doing, there's no one church, no one organization, no one civic group that can get the job done alone. It takes everybody working together to accomplish that goal.
Perfect. And if you would, share even with our audience other ways that you're serving the community in addition to Dream Girls Academy.
Outside of Dream Girls, I work right now with a full-time job at the Dannon Project under Carrie Pruitt and JJ Pruitt, and the Dannon Project actually reach out into the community of those who have felons or who have barriers that will actually hinder them to be successful in the world as it relates to careers and finding job placement and opportunities. So I serve as the Career Services Director at the Dannon Project here in Birmingham. So working with individuals ages 17 to 24, giving them opportunities to gain those certifications so they can become gainfully employed in their field of study. And it is the most rewarding job I think I could have ever had. Right now, before I felt like I was working for a corporation in corporate America, right now I feel like I'm working for the community and the people that I love and I want to see grow and to be successful. So the Dannon Project definitely is a wonderful place with awesome leaders that go out of their way to provide everything that someone would need. The Dannon Project is on fire, and it's led by a wonderful lady, Miss Carrie Pruitt, and her husband, Mr. JJ Pruitt.
Awesome. And plus you on the team, so it gives it a little extra something. Right. Well, I want to kind of segue, into the topic of networking. And, as I shared earlier, from the time that I met you, you have always been one to teach about saving and preserving relationships when it is necessary and also when it's available. And so because we know sometimes relationships, it does take two willing people. But if it can be preserved and it can be saved, that's something that I really learned from you. if you would explain the reasons why relationships are so important to you and also your personal philosophy.
Relationships for me actually make the difference. First, I will begin by saying that I am a Christian, and so my relationship with God helps me to properly align other relationships that's in my life. Considering His grace, His mercy, His love that He has for me, help me to be compassionate. Give me the drive, give me the grace that I need in order to working with others. So relationships gives us the ability to do more, because we all understand that one person can do a lot of things, but if you get two or three together, then we can move mountains and make some things happen, especially in our communities, in the area of mentoring or ministry, or even if corporations or companies came together, you can do more with positive relationships. I believe in working together, and so many times you have to have that relationship where everybody is on the same page, that everybody is seeing eye to eye, and the goal is clear and what we're doing. And when that happens, so much can be accomplished. And I think that because I believe that so much negative energy is thrown towards people to destroy relationships, because if you destroy relationships, then that weakens the probability of getting what you set out to do accomplish. So again, I just want to say that relationships are everything, in the homes, in the companies, in your organizations. We should focus on how we should work well with one another, how well we should talk to one another, treat one another. And if we do this as a team, then when we're actually reaching out to others, people will feel the positive vibe. They will embrace what we're trying to do, but because they understand that we're on one accord. So relationships, again, is instrumental in a business, in the homes, in companies, and definitely in nonprofit organizations.
Awesome. And with your expertise as it relates to girls, will you please share with our audience the importance of healthy support systems for girls?
Oh my. I always tell people that everybody needs a support system. I do understand that all families are not the same. They're not structured the same. The background is different. So I have this thing that I truly believe. You are either born with a support system or you will create one. And you create one with people that you can trust, that you can confide in, those people who have your best interests at heart, those people that will not benefit from you succeeding, no how, no way. They just want to make sure that you succeed.
Right.
So you can't create those, because I believe there are teachers, there are coaches, there are ministers, there are civic group leaders, there are mentors that are out there, there are mothers of the church that are out there, there are people on your job, your supervisors on your job. There are people out there that you can create that can take the place of, or stand in for, not necessarily take the place, but stand in for the mother, for the father, for the aunt, for the uncle, just in case you don't have that. So again, I believe that you have a support system, which consists mother, father, sister, brother, uncles, aunts, grandmother, grandfather, neighbors, church members. Those people are on your support system. You have those, and if you don't have them, you can create one. But support system is instrumental, because you cannot be successful alone. There are certain things that you can do by yourself, but becoming a success is not something that you do alone. And it takes a lot of people working together to help you get there. And I think if leaders are honest and they're fair about who is actually instrumental in their life, you will see that this person could not have done this alone. There are days where you're going to want to be successful, and there are going to be days where you don't want to be successful. There are going to be days that you're going to be proactive, and there's going to be days that you're going to be reactive. And your accountability and your accountability partners and your teams, they actually hold you accountable in accomplishing your goal. If you never tell anybody about what your plans are or what you're planning to accomplish, then there is nobody there to hold you accountable. There is nobody there to support you, to love on you, to applaud you, to give you a platform if you need it. If you're keeping it all a secret, guess what? But if you have a support system, there are people that are going to be pouring into you as you pour into others, and then this is going to make you the success that most of us desire to be.
That's awesome, Tasha. Wow. So true.
It is. I mean, sometimes I think we're scared.
Yeah.
We're scared to tell, and I understand that you don't want to tell everybody.
Right.
Because you're afraid that somebody's going to run and maybe you have an idea. And if you give the idea away, then somebody's going to run and they're going to take it. But I've learned this. I can tell you the exact same thing that I've done to accomplish Dream Girls or to working with Dream Girls for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you everything, but your experience and my experience still will not be the same.
That's right. Yeah.
It will not be the same. So it's nothing that I have or will have to come that's going to prevent me from helping the next male or female as it relates to developing their mentor group.
Right.
I can share everything in hopes that they will learn from me, my mistakes, my failures, my shortcomings. They'll learn from it. But if I'm embarrassed by it, and if I make it my secret, then guess what? I stagnate my growth. I do not allow other people to learn from the errors that I made. And then we sit in a standstill as a whole. So again, I do understand you don't want to tell everybody, but you got to have people that's in a circle that's close to you that's going to help you or propel you to go forward in the area that you want to grow in. So again, it's just, you gotta have a support system. Remember, you are either born with one or you can create one. Support systems are awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's it. Well, we're going to move into, because that was enough. That's a mouthful. I think, that within itself, people definitely can learn from that. I mean, I was sitting here like, that's it. That's just how it has to be, in order for us to move forward. So we're going to segue into healthy self-image. And we know, this month, of course, with it being March, is Women's History Month. And so we're seeing more and more love shown towards women and girls as it relates to positive self-image. And I would like for you to share more about what are your specific lessons that you are sharing with the girls and Dream Girls about who they are.
Oftentimes I tell the girls, I ask them, have they heard the saying, a book is don't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a book by its cover. And I tell them that's a myth. Because when someone actually meet you, they don't really have time to learn your personality or to know your IQ. Or to know all of those things in the matter of meeting you in the first 3 minutes. It's your presentation, is how you carry yourself. How you carry yourself at all times is going to speak volumes about who you are. I remember my grandmother used to tell me, if you carry yourself like big business, then that's how people will treat you. If you carry yourself like trash, well, that's how people will treat you.
Wow.
I can even remember my own mom, when I was chastised at home, I can remember being chastised at home, and then the next day she made me dress up and go to school. And I'm thinking like, what? I don't feel like dressing up when I just got a spanking at home and yelled at home, and I just went through this rigorous time of being chastised as a child. I do not want to get up and put on a little dress and a little shoes.
Right.
I want to put on some jeans and a sweatshirt because this is how I feel. But what she told me is that it's not about what happened. It still is about how you carry yourself. And even though that you're being chastised and you're going through, people don't need to know that. So you got to know how to go through the hard times and look your best at the very same time. You got to know how to do that. And that was in elementary and middle school, and it kind of stayed with me. So creating an organization, I talked to the girls about how they carry themselves all the time. Recently, in the first quarter of this year, we developed an etiquette team. And this etiquette team basically focus on soft skills. And the soft skills are how to carry themselves, dinner etiquette, phone etiquette, how to carry themselves in different places, so they'll know how to respond to different things. We believe that they are leaders of this world, so they're going to actually be in places in high regards, and we want to make sure that they set in a great example for God first and for themselves and their families, then our organization. So we want to make sure that they are the cream of the crop, but we have to start first with their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves. A lot of times you can look at a woman and you can tell how that woman feel about herself just the way she carries herself. Not because she's going to church, not because she's going to an event. I'm speaking of the lady that's happy in Walmart, that's happy in the parking lot. Maybe someone that that's a custodian that's walking, but she carries herself well, speaks well at all times, high energy. And I believe that if we teach our girls at 5 years old that matters. Because we have a saying that goes around, it's me. That's just how I am. But guess what? You live in a world with people. And if you want to be treated well, you have to, one, carry yourself in that manner and to expect that. But again, like grandmother said, if you carry yourself like big business, people will treat you like big business. So how you carry yourself, whether it's from the grocery store down to walking into a formal dinner, is very important at all times, and we try to keep that in our forefront. We have our girls, when they sit, they cross their legs right over left, because we want to make sure our girls are sitting properly. We want to make sure that we call our girls ladies. There's a lot of negative names that are out there, but again, that's how people see themselves, so they roll that over to somebody else. So we just want to make sure that our girls' image is polished and it's professional. So again, we're just working, trying to make a difference in the 45 girls that we're mentoring right now.
That's wonderful, Tasha. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we're gonna segue into what we call mother-daughter bonds, and so this is a little bit of fun segment for you, just where we have a series of questions, and I believe that it helps to encourage conversations between mothers and daughters, and women and girls, and I believe it's a good way for people to get to know more about you. So, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Okay. So, first question is: if you and your mother could do anything together, what would you want it to be?
Wow. If I call my mama. Anything, what would me and mama do? I travel. And that would be a beautiful thing. Definitely, maybe go and travel a couple of countries. Even take on some cities here in the States, but we would do quite a bit of traveling.
All right.
I think that would give us an opportunity to create those priceless moments.
Awesome. And what do you miss the most about being a kid?
Paying bills. Not being responsible for bills and getting the things that I need, but I didn't have to make a sacrifice for it. I just had to ask for it.
Right. That's a good one. If you had all the money to do one thing right now, what would you do?
Oh man, that's not fair. If I had a lot of money to do one thing, goodness, wait, now. Well, if I had one opportunity to do one thing,
And make it be for you, something for you, because I know you will do it for everybody else. What would it be you would do for you?
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Goodness. But see, now you made it even harder because I was going to go exactly what I would have done with it. What I would do for me? I don't know. See, that's a hard question. Because as a leader, sometimes it's hard thinking about yourself and the things that you want. Because you can see how much you can make a difference in somebody else's life.
Right. Well, if it'll make it easier, go ahead with your first one then.
Okay, so what I'll do is I would create like Rembert Enterprise, and then I will build like different houses and homes for people who are in transition, especially those that are like felons. Because now that I'm heavily involved in it, I see how hard it is for someone who went through this process to actually go out and purchase a home or to actually rent an apartment. Because if you have a felon or you're a felony, then guess what? A felon, then some people don't want to actually rent to you. So I want to create opportunity around the United States to buy selective homes as well as apartment buildings and complexes that work with just those people that are. And I want it to be nice, and I want it to be first class, and I want it to have gates, and I want it to be, like the top of the line thing for those people who actually went through and in the process of rebuilding their lives and their home. Their lives and their families again. So that's what I would do.
That's awesome. Oh. And what makes you happy? What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Some lemonade and some water, or lemon heads and water. I'm really simple. If I don't know, what makes me happy is seeing other people happy. What makes me happy is, I don't know, just seeing other people happy, seeing my family happy and prospering, and seeing the girls that I mentor prosper and kind of walk into doors that they wouldn't be able to walk in had it not been for opportunities placed before them. So, I'm really at peace. I'm at a good place right now. I'm just like a happy point.
Awesome. Well, if you could go back in time to one moment, what would it be?
If I could go back in time to one moment, if I can go back to my senior year in college,
okay,
I would be doing what I'm doing at this point right now.
Gotcha.
At that point,
I
would have been working it long time ago. I would have been making connections long time ago. I would have been doing something. I would have been doing the exact same thing. But it would have been, I would have started much sooner.
Right. Okay. And what is a goal you want to achieve in the next 10 years?
Oh, wow. In the next 10 years, wow. In the next 10 years, I definitely want to have a girls' charter school.
Okay.
I want to work to create a girls' charter school, and did a lot of studying on it, and I know a lot of people frown on it because of the way it's set up, and you really can't, the way that it's set up, you really can't check to make sure that people there are qualified and they're going to get quality education, but that's not the type of school that I want to create. So even if it's charter school or it's private school, well, even if I had to create it and make it a private school, which that would allow me to come up with my own funds, then I would create a school where kids, the arts, they're heavy in arts, heavy in math and science, really being innovative in my approach in teaching them, actually have a certain amount of kids that may be from inner city or what we call the challenge areas in our communities. I want to make sure that they are in that population, so they can experience some things they wouldn't be able to experience if it wasn't for that school. I know a lot of times that a lot of students leave their city schools and they actually go to private schools and receive a quality education. But I want those same city students to receive a quality education without mom and dad having to fork over $1,500 to $2,000 a month, or $900 a month, which they cannot afford. So I want to provide a quality education to all children, and not considering the parents, the working class parents, having to pay a substantial amount of money for their child to receive a quality education.
Perfect. And what is your favorite kind of food?
My favorite kind of food right now is sushi.
Okay.
Right now I'm on a sushi kick. In my mind, I feel like I'm eating a whole lot less.
Okay.
But I realize that it could be wrapped in a whole lot more. But right now, sushi right now. But I think in any given day, we can have Mexican. So okay. Mexican is my thing as well.
Okay. And which kind of music makes you want to sing?
Makes me want to sing?
Mm-hmm.
A gospel. Gospel makes me want to sing because, like, when I'm listening to praise and worship music, I kind of get in my own zone, and I know that God hears this melody that really don't exist because I cannot sing, but He hears it, and I really have concerts because everything that I'm doing it unto Him, and I'm doing it to please Him, and it becomes silly to me. Well, when sometimes you think about R&B and things like that, it causes you to reflect on a moment in time. But when it comes down to, like, gospel, it puts me in a moment where I'm in the present. Okay. And it helps me to think about where I'm going, and not necessarily where I've been. And even if I did think on the things that I've went through in my challenged areas, it brings a smile on my face to know that God is still there with me. Good stuff. Well, where would you like to visit if you could go anywhere? If I want to go to Hawaii. Okay. I want to go to Hawaii, and I want to be there for like a month. All right. Because I want plenty of time to enjoy the weather. I want plenty of time to relax. I definitely wouldn't want it to be a rush trip. Okay. And finally, for this segment, what makes you laugh? Comedy. I'm really silly. Probably too silly. Like comedy. Like somebody being serious. You really don't have to be a comedian. But I think because of my life, I'm always thinking about, how can I make this happen? Or what numbers do I need to do this? Or how much money needs to be raised so this can happen? Or somebody be a sponsorship. I love being around people that make me laugh. Yeah. In the middle of all this is going on. I just want to have a good time. And I like being silly. So I'm probably too silly. That's a side that people that really know me know that I'm silly. But those that don't know me, probably like, she's always serious. But I really enjoy laughing. Awesome. So a good comedy show, good comedian, or just a group of clowns that want to sit in the living room and cut up and have a good time, then that's good with me as well. Cool. Well, I'm sure, with that segment, we definitely got to learn some extra things, especially for those who don't know as much about you. So thank you so much for being a good sport during that segment. And I wanted to kind of move into faith and wanted to know that if you would encourage someone in our audience and let them know a time when your faith was tested and how you came through it. Wow. I mean, I feel like my faith has been tested a lot. Okay. I feel like it's been tested a lot. But I'm convinced that I'm supposed to be here. I had a stroke, I think, in 2012. I had a stroke in 2012. I lost the sight in my right eye. I came back in 2016. I had a stroke to the brain. Outside, before all of this happened, I went to Cheesecake Factory and was having dinner, and mistakenly the server served us bleach, and we thought it was water, so we drank that. So we had to have our stomachs pumped for that and kind of monitored by the doctors. So I had a couple of close encounters with just leaving here. But last year it was just kind of like I was really kind of shocked by the whole thing, because when I had the stroke, I was outside running, and I didn't know I had the stroke until two weeks later. But the whole time I had TD Jakes in my ear, and I was listening to sermons. And I was making confessions, and I was running, and I was feeling good. I was doing some things.
Yeah.
And so, in my mind, like, what? How could this happen? But only to come to find out, I took an MRI, and the MRI showed that I had a stroke. But physically, it looked like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So it kind of shook me a little, like, this happened? Like, really? Because I watched a lot of people who experienced strokes. So this time I had 2 strokes. And nothing, and God kept me through the whole. So I'm convinced that God wants me to be here.
Yes.
So, I'm happy to be alive.
Right.
So my happiness comes from within. It doesn't matter where I work, where I live, where I drive, who am I connected to, who I'm not connected to. My faith has been, I've been shaken quite a few times.
Yeah.
And but what I've learned is this, because I'm a threat. This is why the enemy don't want me here.
Yeah.
Because you can see right now, look who I'm impacting right now, working with young men, as well as I'm mentoring young women.
Yes.
And I believe that, and I know that I'm here for a reason. So I just keep my hand in God's hand, and I trust Him, and I trust Him with my life. I trust Him with everything that I have. I trust Him in my success, and I trust Him through my challenge areas. And I know that He is for me, and I'm convinced that He's for me. And even when the enemy tells me everything is against me, I know that He's for me, because if He wasn't, I could have been dead.
Yeah.
In 2012. Back really in 2009 when I drunk some cleanser.
Yeah.
So there were some times where I came real close. Really, really close, where doctors couldn't even explain why is it happening to me. So my faith has been shaken, but I'm now convinced. But still, you're going to have those days where you have your ups and downs, where every day is not a sunny day. You don't feel like singing in the car, sweet Jesus, and you don't feel like that. And some days you sit and you cry.
Yeah.
And even in your tears, you still say, God, I trust you. I stand on your word, and I'm going to do what you called me to do. And I always say, when I was born, God, you have a plan. I want that plan.
Come on now.
I realized that I probably altered it from the things and the decisions that I made, but I want to go back to the original plan.
Yeah.
And so when you start thinking like that, and you start talking to God and having that one-on-one relationship, all that relationship is what makes the difference. That's why you can love people who try to steal your idea, your concept, or your business plan and take it and work it on their own. That's why you can love them and still help them do it.
Right. Yeah.
And then you can still talk to people when you know you just had a conversation about me. And I know it, but I love you anyway. And is anything else you need that I need to do for you?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's not my responsibility to try to play get back. See, I don't really address people who don't like me. I'm really I don't even address that. And I tell the girls don't.
Right.
Like, that's something they have to handle on their own. You not liking me is not my problem. I trust God for everything that I do. And if you decided to get in my business, you're going to get in it with me and God. And you may get to know Him.
Right.
Right. I'm not dealing, you know what I'm saying? Like, my faith has been shaken. I'm convinced I'm supposed to be here. Until the day that God calls me home, I'm going to be rocking this thing on out.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
So yeah, so I'm just excited about it. Just excited about life. Just excited about what he's gonna do. And every day, I wake up and think, "Oh, what you want me to do today? Who you want me to encourage today? How you gonna change it around today?" And I just like getting excited with other people. There are so many girls mentoring group that's coming up in the city. I give accolades and I talk to people about their events. But again, I've been doing it for a while. I want to be able to sit back and encourage other people.
Right.
Because their trial won't be my trial. My trial won't be necessarily be theirs. But you know how it feels when you work something for so long and you just wanted somebody to be there for you.
Yeah.
Not somebody to speak at your engagement. I don't want to speak. I want to clean up. I want to sit out the potato chips. I want to cut the cake. I want to sweep the floor when it's over. I'm not trying to be there in the limelight. I'm just trying to be there to support you. And we need more people who honestly want to see the children succeed versus their names in lights.
Right.
Or accolades. Or, like if you really want to see someone do well, you will do it even if you didn't have an organization.
True. Yeah.
If you want to see children do well, you don't need a nonprofit for that. It's a whole bunch of schools that need people to just volunteer to do it. So are you doing it because you want to do that, or are you doing it because you want to see your name in lights?
Right.
Because maybe your degree didn't get you the applause and the accolades that you thought you should receive.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to check your motives, because there are a lot of children out there that need to be served, but they don't need to be served by people who want to do it temporarily, because these children need stability and they need people who are honest.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
So
that's right.
That's my spiel on there. There's so much work that's out here. We all can just roll up our sleeves and do it together.
That's it. Well, all right. Well, we're going to get into our closing segment, and it's called Matters of the Heart Moment. And so I have a few things to ask. The first one is, if you had a chance to speak to your 4-year-old self, what would you say to her?
The sky's the limit. Opportunities are readily made available to you when you make those requests. You're going to need a relationship with God, and it's mandatory, and you have to have that. Without that, anything that you think of will not work. Your relationship with God is mandatory at 4. But anything that you want to accomplish, it can be done. Anything can be done. All
right. And who motivates you?
Who motivates? My mom. I mean, I have like a lot of people that's around, and I have phenomenal people around. Like I said before, I'm working at the Danny Project under Miss Carrie Pruitt. She is awesome, phenomenal, have a heart for people. She is great. Minister Brenda Bradley, she has a heart for women, and she's teaching and she's training. Bishop Ruth Smith out in Georgia, she's doing great things. Phenomenal woman. I mean, just a whole bunch of great people that's around me. Tasha, Noella. I mean, there's so many people that's out here that's just moving and shaking. But when it comes down to the real motivation, because you're behind closed doors with a person. Mm-hmm. So you're able to see the heart of someone. Yeah. You're able to see like the realness of someone. When you're at home with them, and you're able to be transparent, and you still get the same result. I mean, like, come on now. My mama has done some amazing things. Yeah. Some amazing things. And she's been there. She's supported so many efforts in ministries. Yeah. She's been behind the scenes working it. Yeah. And a lot of people benefit from it, but they never maybe remember, it's not like a role where people are just calling your name out to say this, that, and other. But this woman here is phenomenal.
Right.
It's phenomenal in so many ways. So she is definitely the one who inspires me. And, I think about, I can't wait to do this so I can show mama. And this is the idea. Let me tell mama.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely a mama's girl. Love my dad, but you're definitely a mama's girl.
Right. Much love to Lady Mary Williams. Special shout out to her. Yeah. What was the best piece of advice you ever got?
One of my best friends told me never to let my feet stop moving. Don't let your feet stop moving.
Okay.
Don't let your feet keep moving. Good and bad, keep moving.
All right.
Keep coming up with ideas. Keep coming up. It didn't work. So the idea that you had didn't work. Keep thinking. You can do it. Don't let your feet stop moving. And so you start thinking about, wait, this didn't happen. I didn't get this contract. Or this didn't come through for me like I wanted to. But the advice was never let your feet stop moving.
Yeah.
Never let them stop moving. Keep moving. Because you got plenty of time to rest. And that's when you're gone.
Yes. Yeah.
But as long as you're here,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be something that you can do. And as long as there's something that you can do, put your feet to work and make it happen.
Perfect.
A lot of times we host our own pity party. We throw shade on ourselves.
Right.
We talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We actually talk ourselves into an idea or a concept or a plan, and we use that same method to talk ourselves out of it. So I just, like that advice was powerful to me.
Right.
Like, keep moving.
Yeah.
People talk about you, keep moving. People lie on you, keep moving. It didn't turn out the way you thought it would, keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that advice, that right there, because you hit those ruts, you hit those downfalls, you hit those health challenges, you hit those faith challenges, but that, keep moving. And then you know that God is with you.
Yeah. That's priceless. All right. Well, any last minute piece of advice you want to share? You already have given us a lot of gems. But do you want to share anything?
I just wanted to say to anybody that's looking to do anything, it could be nonprofit, it could be mentoring girls, it could be starting a church or starting a small group or coaching a little league volleyball team or, a little league football team or basketball team. It could be anything. Make sure your motives are right. Because we live in a world that people genuinely want to be cared for and loved. People really don't want to be looked at as an object or my something to do on my to-do list. It's about making a relationship and making a difference in the life. You're there to make a difference. You're not there to fill a spot.
Right.
You're there to, because you have insight, because you have like your trials and your tribulations and all these things that you've gone through. You went through those things for a reason, and that's to help and bless someone else. Don't be embarrassed by it because God brought you through it. So be transparent, use wisdom with that, but at the same time, use your relationships with people to make this world a better place. If you're looking for love, be the love that you're looking for. If you're looking for favor, be the favor that you've been looking for. If you're looking for open doors, opportunities, open some doors and create opportunities for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we can sit and look and we want people to do all these things for us. But what are we doing for someone else?
Right.
I want to close by saying this. Saturday I went to the Salvation Army and it was a line. And I wasn't sure if people were just shopping and thrifting, but it was a line giving things away. You write the stuff, give you the write-off sheet or whatever, and then you go and you make your donation. But it was a line, like literally a line. And I was thinking to myself, I was just about to complain. I can't believe that it's this many people, and then God spoke to me saying, giving things away.
Mm-hmm.
Is this many people giving things away?
Right.
Is this many people woke up this morning and decided, I'm going to give these things away?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And we have to be those type of people who want to be a blessing.
That's right.
Who want to be the givers, who want to be the movers and shakers of the world, who want to be the people who walk into the room and you change the entire room based on what you say and based on what you do.
Yeah.
So if you have anything that you're desiring to do, you can do that. But be the person that's going to make a difference, and a difference through relationships. Because
Awesome.
relationships with God matter. Relationships with people matter. And that's what I want to close with.
Well, that is perfect, NaTasha. And we want to say thank you so much for joining us today and just sharing with us.
I want to thank you for the opportunity to kind of share with you and kind of jog my memory and give me a tearjerker and also a laugh all at the same time.
Yeah.
And I wish, I pray blessings upon you and the Flora Pearl Foundation that's going out here making a difference in the lives of mothers as well as daughters, and doing a powerful thing in the community. And there should be more organizations just like yours. Being phenomenal takes time. So we understand that you are a phenomenal organization and there are more on the rise. So I just want to encourage you, as you continue to be phenomenal, help others to do the same thing, and we can all be in this gang together.
That is perfect. And I thank you so much for just sharing that. And that means so much to me. So thank you again, NaTasha.
Oh, you're welcome.
Perfect. And our goal here at the Flora Pearl Foundation is to be a blessing to all of those that we come in contact with by operating with the spirit of excellence. Audience, we thank you so much for listening. I know you have enjoyed this message today. And you can visit our website at www.florapearlfoundation.org for more information. We look forward to spending time with you all each week, and we will talk to you soon.